entered into a new phase of conflict in which we use a cyber weapon to create physical destruction.
So I heard this story, but apparently I was confused because the newspaper printed it up completely opposite of what I heard the story as. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. I'm going to tell you what the newspaper printed before I tell you the actual story. So the newspaper printed that a pretty young 29-year-old woman went on a bunch of first dates and she just could not find her one true love. That sounds fantastic, right? That sounds, like a movie or some chick flick. And of course, it's going to end up with Will Smith carrying her across the threshold. So that's what the newspaper said. The actual truth of the matter is, this woman went on 80 first dates, and she did it because she wanted free food. She was banned off of one of the dating sites because she then turned around and wrote a book, How to Live Off of Men. And what was her proof? She went on the dating sites and she went on 80 first dates. She had everything from caviar to champagne, anything you could think of. The men paid the tab completely. And she was banned off of the site because she then went on public news channels and said, hey, I wrote this book. She's trying to hawk her book. But the news media spun everything around and said, oh, this poor lass, this poor young beautiful lady can't find her number one. Now the way they spun it was that, oh, she can't find her number one because she can't find a man who meets her standards. He has to be, not take himself too seriously. He has to be down to earth. Now what I was shocked at was her saying you could literally basically live off of men. And a few people have said this. You could find this story all over MTV, all of those reality shows. Oh yeah, I live off of men. You could completely live off men. You can date them. They have to pay for the date. And here's the deal. And on another newspaper told seniors, watch out for the scam. They'll come to you on the match websites and said, hey, we matched 100%. So let's go out on the date. And then they go out on a date and they scam the old men. And I'm talking doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, the whole 9 yards. They end up after a while taking their money, blackmailing, whatever it comes to, right? And on MTV, it was the marry them and divorce them thing. And one of these bachelor shows had that on it too. The woman married the guy and then took all the money, divorced him immediately, like within hours after marrying him, and took all the money because it was promised by contract in the show. So this woman went on 80 dates to live scot-free off of men. Hey, women, those days are over. That's all over. In the United States, under the age of 35, which is the dating period, right? 18 to 35, women are no longer getting married. Women make more money than men. So all of these things you hear about women not making as much money as men, that was in the 1920s. In 2018, women under the age of 35 make more money than men. Women under the age of 35 are hired twice as much as men. Men aren't even in the labor market anymore. Not to any big degree. It's the lowest it's ever been. Under Obama, it was the lowest in history. Yes, in the history of them actually keeping record of it, keeping track. Men actually punched out and said, that's it, I'm done. And we're talking about, they couldn't get hired, so they said, okay. They packed up and said, okay, I've had enough. But things seem to be picking up for men under Trump. More hiring, unemployment is low, and getting lower. But that whole narrative that women make less, no. That is completely that has been flipped on its head. Women make more money, and more women have jobs than men under the age of 35. I don't know anything about over 35. So this woman, she was more than likely targeting older guys over the age of 35. because I believe millennials don't do that. Men pay for the dates. I know that's on TV all over the place, but that's just on TV. That's not how it is. There are people who have already written books of why aren't men dating women anymore? Dating. And what did they say the reason was? Because of these apps, these matchmaking apps all on your phone. You could literally just tag a girl and say, come on over. And what's crazy is these companies are trying to have this upstanding reputation, but they can't have an upstanding reputation when the women on the phone apps, are doing that. They can want to appear to be this upstanding, reputable thing, and that they only have good girls on it. But in fact, the reality is, it's the hookup culture. And this woman, no matter how, I got to point it out where I find it. This woman wrote a book, How to Live Off of Men. And specifically, you're going after the man who's going to pay for the dinner. And she flat out comes out and says it. Are you going to pay for dinner? And if he says no, he's not in the book. He's not on the date with her. There you have it. Tell me what you think below. Thank you for watching Shakaama Live Show. Leave a like. Tell me what you think in the comments.